Hey, it's Thursday, July 14th, 2022. It is 10:20 a.m. It's 87 degrees Fahrenheit. We're doing a tour of the Soulard neighborhood today. There you see the arch right down there. So this is the oldest public market in St. Louis here, the Soulard Farmers Market. As you see there, 1779. Keep in mind, St. Louis was founded in 1764. Missouri became a state in 1821. So this is one of the very oldest. This is the second permanent structure that they have here. First one was built in the 1840s. Then it was a Union camp during the Civil War. It expanded in the 1860s and then was destroyed by the tornado in 1896. Then they used a couple of tents for a while. And then this structure was built in the 1920s. So you saw that sign 1779. This is just a spot where farmers would come to sell their stuff. Then Gabriel Soulard got a hold of this area here, this property. He died in 1805. His daughter was Julia. She married Antoine Soulard. He died in 1825. She lived until 1845. This is one of the oldest neighborhoods in St. Louis. This market is open Wednesday through Saturday. Very busy on the weekend.
I use Clorox wipes. I use straight bleach. The other day I couldn't find anything in my bathroom, so I poured straight alcohol in a washer, washed my face. Didn't bother me, didn't burn, nothing. My husband's like, my nostrils are burning.
You see this street here is called Julia after Julia Soulard. Now her father, Gabriel Soulard, he was friends with Pierre Laclede, one of the founders of St. Louis. And of course this neighborhood is named after her husband, Antoine Soulard. Okay, so this is actually called Soulard Park, right in here behind it. Okay, so there's the market again over there from this angle. And we have over here Bogart's Smokehouse. They're known for their ribs there. and a Mission Taco. International Brew House down there, and a cafe here on the end. Here's Llewellyn's Pub.
Okay. All right, cool. You're like, come here.
2 at the most.
Okay.
Man, that ain't there.
Cool.
That's how you do things.
Okay, we're at 8th and Soulard now. There's Mauky's Bakery and Country Store. And right across the street over here is Trinity Lutheran Church, the oldest Lutheran church west of the Mississippi River. It was founded in 1839. Part of it was destroyed in that 1896 tornado, and they were only able to keep certain parts of it and build around it again. But it's the oldest church, oldest Lutheran church. Trinity Lutheran, right here in Soulard. Okay, this is at 9th Street Abbey. It's a reception hall now. It was built in the 1850s, but it was rebuilt. It's destroyed again by that tornado. Okay, that plaque calls it a cyclone. You hear that sometimes. And you can see the Metropolitan Square building down there with the green top down there in downtown. That's the tallest, 593 feet. Okay, we're at 1827 South 9th Street. This is the Thielman House, built in the mid-19th century, Creole influenced. Looks like you're in New Orleans ready for Mardi Gras. By the way, we have a huge Mardi Gras celebration in this neighborhood, second only to New Orleans, and a pet parade a week before. Oktoberfest is also big in this neighborhood. Huge population growth in the 1840s and 1850s, especially Germans, and the 1860s and the 1870s. And right next to it here at 1825 South 9th Street, this is a flounder house. You see how the roof is goes off to one side like that. We have the most flounder houses of any city. They did a survey just a few years ago. They had identified 277 of them at the time. I don't know what the final tally was, but we have the most flounder houses like that. You see them in different neighborhoods. I saw one in Lafayette Square, but they're in Benton Park and all over the place. That's a flounder house right there. And this is the Thielman House right here, very old. That flounder house also built in the 1840s. You can thank the Germans for that. They were cheap to build. That's the kind that they built. Okay, right here on the corner of Geyer and 9th Street. This is the 1860s saloon. They play a lot of blues music here. James Crutchfield played here. He's famous St. Louisan. See it? We're delivering the alcohol. That's the 1860s saloon. And right over across from that's Molly's here in Soulard. Okay, we're at 8th and Geyer here. This is the St. Peter and Paul Catholic Church. It's one of the oldest. Founded in 1849, very old. This is the third building, built in the 1870s, Gothic revival. That's Saints Peter and Paul Catholic Church. It was damaged in the tornado. Okay, this is Henry's here. We're at 9th and Allen. So we've been going back and forth around these corners here. This is Henry's. Now, caddy corner right across the street. This is where the Smile Soda Factory was, and it was destroyed by the tornado in 1896. Well, you can see pictures of that. This building with the corner like that, and it was completely destroyed. You look up old pictures, it's unbelievable. That's where it is, right there. Okay, there's that Smile Soda Factory at 9th and 11th. This is 811 Allen right here, the Trapper Cottage. This is one of the oldest homes in St. Louis. Yeah, that's the Trapper Cottage at 811 Allen. Okay, this is at 10th and Soulard right up here, the Dog House. This bar here. The highway is right up there. Here's another view of that Dog House at 10th and Soulard. Here, this is 10th and Emmett right here. Some old houses here, again built mid-19th century. This one right here. This is the wood shack. And a Mexican restaurant on the corner of 10th and Geyer. Okay, we're at 1011 Geyer. This is called the Soulard House. This was all part of what was called Bohemian Hill at one time. That's Czech, Bohemians Czech. You can see here. There were a lot of immigrants in the 1850s, 1860s that came from Eastern Europe. Czech, Hungary, Germans. And they call them the 48ers because in 1848 there was turmoil, revolution in Eastern Europe there. So they immigrated, not just to St. Louis, but this is one of the cities where a lot of them came. And they started a church, the first Czech church, west of the Mississippi River. It's a Catholic church. There was a lot of Catholics, but also a lot of Protestants. But anyway, that's St. John Nepomuk Church in the neighborhood just west of here, kind of in between Lafayette Square and here. It's now called LaSalle Park, is what that neighborhood is now called. And of course, just up the street again is the highway, which cuts through where Bohemian Hill was, as well as it took out some caves where they used to store beer. There was a bunch of breweries around where the Anheuser-Busch Brewery is now, but we'll get to that later. This is the Great Grizzly Bear Restaurant and Bar at Geyer and Menard. Happy hour 2 to 6. Okay, here's Duke's. This is at Allen and Menard. Okay, we're still on 9th Street. This is 9th and Russell now. This is Hammerstone's here. So this was a drugstore, and during Prohibition, they bootlegged liquor out in the back. That's Boardwalk Waffles and Ice Cream here on Russell. Okay, this is on Russell here. This is the Island Bar, Harpo's. That's what used to be Johnny's right there in Soulard. That was Johnny's. That's a bar that's coming at 12th and Allen, Crow Bar. There's our soccer team that's coming, St. Louis City. Got some nice flowers here. Alright, so we're made it up to 12th and Russell. This is the Soulard Art Gallery. And you see a couple of these cakes, birthday celebration for St. Louis that they had in 2014. They put them around in historic places. We were founded in 1764, so it's 250 years. They still got, you'll see a few of those around town still. Right over there is McGurk's. Opened in 1978. Very famous place here. Really neat bar there. And right over here is St. Joseph Croatian Catholic Church. It was a convent for the Ursuline Sisters, built in 1850. Parish started in 1904, and they bought this site in 1927. This white building's the Academy of Building. There's several structures here. It's very. There's a look at McGurk's again, famous patio in the back. McGurk's Irish Pub and Garden. Might as well get a look through here. I have to come over here anyway. Come over here and see this church better. So that's St. Joseph's Croatian Catholic Church. You can see there. And right over here is Tucker's place here in Soulard. Okay, this is 2322 South 12th Street. This is one of the most interesting houses you'll ever see anywhere. It's the Dr. Franz Arzt House. He was Austrian, moved here in 1867, spoke 4 languages. He was a philosopher and a scientist. This is Second Empire architecture. He made his own indoor toilet, first residential water heater and radiator, first natural air cooling vent system. He built a cave underneath, built a greenhouse inside the home with exotic plants, grew oranges and lemons, built an aquarium, and had the first goldfish in the city that we know of. the Franz Arzt House. Take a look at this garden in the back here. In fact, you can see part of the cave. Right back in here. So that's the Franz Arzt House. Okay, so here's the South Broadway Athletic Club right here, built in 1899. It's right off Broadway here, which is, by the way, where the Mardi Gras parade is here at Soulard. The arch is right down there. There's trees blocking it. And they had boxing matches here. My friends played fuzzball with a burnt tennis ball. That was on Tuesday nights. They don't have it anymore. That's the South Broadway Athletic Club. Hey, we're going to continue along 12th Street here. Sure. We're still on 12th Street here. Very beautiful here in Soulard. This is the Max Feuerbacher Mansion. He was another beer baron. Some call it the Lion House around here because of those lions. It's being renovated. He was founder of the Green Tree Brewing Company. It was built in 1874. Here we're at 11th and Sydney. That's the Gene Slay's Boys Club of St. Louis. Right over here is the Cat's Meow. See that 2019 Stanley Cup champions, of course, the Blues. Hey, this is Big Daddy's at 1000 Sydney Street. 1000 Sydney Street. Right here at 10, about by 10th Street. So this is Big Daddy's in Soulard right here. This was the offices of Jim Cook. The Cook and Feldkamp Brewery. Jim Cook, spelled K-O-C-H. He made Sam Adams' Boston Lager in 1984. Got the recipe from his great-grandfather, Lewis Cook, another brewer in St. Louis. So it was made right here in St. Louis. This is where their offices were.
Awesome it was
for Sam Adams.
So like things like because
What's that remind you of, that sign? Okay, now we've come up on the Anheuser-Busch Brewery here, right down the street from Big Daddy's. It's a National Historic Landmark, one of 37 in the state of Missouri. Jacques Chirac, the old president of France, operated a forklift here. This is one of 12 breweries they have in the U.S. Eberhard Anheuser, who was in the soap and candle business, bought into the Bavarian Brewing Company in 1853 and met Adolphus Busch, who sold brewing supplies. Busch married Anheuser's daughter, Lily. Started using the name Anheuser-Busch in 1879. Budweiser brand came out in 1876. Romanesque revival architecture. Several breweries were here in the area. As I mentioned earlier, there were caves underneath. The highway kind of wiped some of them out. There are maps of a few. One of them is called the Cherokee Cave. So you can see the Budweiser sign. You see the clock tower right there. You can take tours and have a complimentary beverage at the end. I did go to the holiday lights here. It is a massive campus, the Anheuser-Busch Brewery, National Historic Landmark. Okay, come visit us. There's the Clydesdales, and we'll wrap it up from here. This is the tour of Soulard. It's a tough one. A lot of stuff to try to cram in there. If you liked it, subscribe and smash that like button. Thanks a lot for watching.